The Calder Trophy race in the NHL is heating up as a very tight race has come about with some young prospects and a new emerging star in the mix to win the Calder Trophy at the end of the season. In this video, I'm going to break down the top runners of the Calder Trophy race and who I think is going to be at the top by the end of the season. So you're not going to want to miss this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we got to quickly say that 92% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you're not subscribed already, make sure you're down below and stay up to date on everything that's happening around the NHL. But without further ado, let's get right into this. I mean, the first person that is on this list right now, if we just quickly bring up the top 10 right now in the Calder Trophy race, at number 1 is the Dallas Stars' Logan Stankoven with a 2-point lead over Matvei Michkov and Lane Hutson. These are the two guys going into this season that we thought were going to be up there for the Calder Trophy, was Michkov and Hutson, and Celebrini, where if you look on this list, he's all the way down in the 10th position. But Logan Stankoven, he came up last year for Dallas, I believe just before the playoffs, and played in the playoffs for them and looked phenomenal. And going into this season, a lot of people thought that he would carry this over, but not be on such a dominant pace that he is to start this season. I mean, if we just take a look at his stats so far, like we said, he has 12 points, 2 goals, 10 assists, being an elite playmaker on that third line for the Dallas Stars. I mean, he's playing with the likes of Wyatt Johnston and veteran Jamie Benn. And when you put two young guys like Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven on a line with a veteran like Jamie Benn, who gets in front of the net and is a pest in front for a goalie when he's screening and stuff like that, it definitely is going to help those guys get their numbers up in scoring. I mean, Wyatt Johnston, in my eyes, is one of the most exciting hockey players to watch. I know a lot of people probably haven't seen him because he is in Dallas, but I would say he is one of my favorite young players in the NHL to date. So having him paired up with another young guy in Logan Stankoven, who made a name for himself really in the World Junior Hockey Championship and has carried that over to the AHL and now to the NHL level, where he is leading the league leading rookies in scoring so far as I'm recording this video. And it's just great to see. I mean, right now, if you just take a look too, he is number 1, tied with Lane Hutson for 10 assists among rookie scorers. So he's doing very well to get the opportunity to play with Jamie Benn and Wyatt Johnston and play make for those guys, create scoring chances for such great goal scorers here in the NHL. So it's just great to see him have a very hot start and continue his success that he had last season. Do I think he could hold this top spot to the end of the season? I think I would have to doubt that, but I wouldn't want to bet against him because he's playing some phenomenal hockey right now. He's also playing on that first power play unit, which is really helping him contribute as well. And then we move on here to a guy like Matvei Michkov. I mean, Matvei Michkov, coming into this season, a lot of people had high hopes for him going in. Right now, he's tied for second in rookie scoring with 10 points so far on the season. Also, while being healthy scratched by John Tortorella these last 2 games, he did draw into the lineup tonight before the game is on during this video right now, so I don't know how he played during that game, but so far, up to that point, he does have 10 points through 13 games. I don't know how that lands you up in the rafters by being a healthy scratch back-to-back. Maybe you tried to Michigan in the practice and Torts didn't like it. I could definitely see that being the scenario. And, you know, he's back into the lineup. He's going to get back on this pace and be up there throughout this season in rookie scoring. And he has 4 goals, 6 assists so far. He has looked exceptional by far, looking probably the best player on this Philadelphia team, sort of the most exciting player to watch on this Philadelphia team. And right now he is leading rookie goal scoring, tied for 4th with Jackson Blake, who is another name that I didn't include in this list, but he's a guy to definitely look out for. He is a tremendous goal scorer. I mean, Matvei Michkov, there was a lot on this guy's plate heading in to this season, no doubt about it. Was he going to be able to continue his success like he did in the KHL? And it looks like he has so far, and has looked great, even though he's playing a lackluster line, I would say. I mean, if we just take a look at it, I mean, right now he is playing on that third line with Ryan Poehling, Habs legend, shout out to Ryan Poehling, and Anthony Richard or Richard. And, you know, when you think about, you know, the guys surrounding Stankoven, who we just looked at, and Jamie Benn and Wyatt Johnson, they're two great players. But, you know, not taking anything away from Richard or Poehling, but they aren't the quality players like a guy like Logan Stankoven is playing with. And Michkov is still being that guy that we all expected him to be. So he's proving on another level that he can be this tremendous player in the NHL with playing with lesser talent. And I don't know how he ended up scratched. I know I've said it a bunch of times, but I think this guy's a tremendous player. He's going to continue this pace up, and he will be one of the guys I'm looking at the end of the season saying, hey, this guy could win the Calder Trophy. There's no doubt about it. I think he has such great skill, such a great goal scorer, and he's a lot of speed, and I really like this guy's play so far. I really wish he did end up in Montreal, but we love our boy Slavkovsky over there in Montreal. No, there's no doubt about that. But if we just move on to the next player on the list here, and that's Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson is tied for second with Matvei Michkov at 10 points so far this season. I know there's been a lot of hate over Lane Hutson this season, which we have talked about a lot here on this channel. But right now he has 10 points, 10 assists, which puts him first among rookie scorers in the assist category at 10, tied with Logan Stankoven, who we just talked about. And do I think Lane Hutson could win the Calder Trophy this year? I think he could. I really do think he could. I mean, the biggest thing here is that plus minus. I mean, if he goes into the end of the year, you know, he's got a -30 or high -20s, but he's, you know, up there with the points, I don't think he's going to win it because, you know, so far this season, he has proven to be a little bit of a defensive liability, which I don't really like to talk about because I love Lane Hutson, and I think that this could change if other guys stepped back for him when he jumps up in the rush. But as of right now, I mean, he did go on a little bit of a skid where he didn't record a point, but he does have 10 assists, which puts him second in rookie scoring, and I think without a doubt, he will start to get those goals in the back of the net. We've seen him hit the post numerous times so far this season. So I believe in the Lane train. I think that he is definitely going to be up there with Michkov and Stankoven towards this end of the season for the winner of the Calder. And do I think he could maybe take the edge? It all depends on how Montreal is playing towards this end of the season. I mean, we just seen him go on a 6-game slide where they broke that today with a dropping a touchdown on the Buffalo Sabres. So if they can continue even having remotely, you know, alright success, I think he could definitely get this threshold to win this Calder Trophy this season. I keep trying to call it Calder Memorial. It's not the Calder Memorial. I think it's the Calder Trophy. Sorry about that, but I definitely do think that Lane Hutson will be there. And there's one more guy I want to talk about before we end this video, and this is a guy maybe a lot of you guys maybe know if you were here during our Toronto days on the channel, Maxim Siplikov. I mean, if we just look at this guy right now, he is 26. He's probably the oldest out of all the players we've talked about today. Actually, definitely is the oldest out of all the players we talked today. Came over from the KHL this season and has looked phenomenal for this New York Islanders team. I talked about him a lot during this offseason when we thought Toronto was going to be in on getting this guy, but the Islanders won the sweepstakes, got Siplikov. There was a lot of worry on will he transition to an NHL player? How will he transition to a North American ice? And as of right now, he has looked the part for the New York Islanders. I mean, he has 9 points, 2 goals, 7 assists so far for this Islanders team. And, you know, when you're getting that kind of production out of a new signee, a guy's first time playing in the NHL, that is great. And with the age here, I think this is where we will see him continue to be in this Calder race this season because he has had consistent great point seasons in the KHL. So he knows how to be a consistently good player at a high level of hockey, which the KHL is a very high level of hockey. I hate when people diss on the KHL because I do really think there's a lot of great players over there. We're seeing it right now with Maxim Siplikov. He's coming over and he's doing great work. Do I think he'll go out there and surprise everybody with 80 points? No, I don't think that. I think maybe in a couple of seasons, if he does develop like everybody suspects him to, we could see him up there, and towards the end of the season with a 70, 80-point season. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But right now, we look at who he's playing with on this New York Islanders team. He's playing the second line minutes, which is the most minutes out of everybody we talked about today. Logan Stankoven on the third line. We have Michkov on the third line. Lane Hutson playing the second pairing, so defensemen generally do log more ice time than forwards, so just going to count him out of this for now. But right now we have Siplikov playing the second line in New York with Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri. These guys are great NHL players, and maybe not great, maybe we could say they're good NHL players. They're not like amazing or anything, but they are solid guys who you want to have on your hockey team. So you bring a new face in here at 26 years old. He's not as young as Lane Hutson at 20 or Michkov at 20 or any of these guys who are in their early 20s, but he has that experience now of playing in the KHL and playing consistently well, and he's bringing that over to this New York Islanders team, and I think he will continue this success going forward and get more opportunities here in New York. I think we could even maybe see him jump up to top line at some points throughout the season. I don't think he'll consistently hold it because Anders Lee has been such a great player for the New York Islanders team, but I really do like this guy. This is a guy I was really high on before this season. He's breaking my expectations so far, and 9 points, I think it's through 13, maybe 14, 15 games. I think that's a great pace for a guy like Maxim Siplikov. But I know a lot of you guys are sitting back watching, they're saying, Casey, who do you think is going to win the Calder Trophy this season? And that is a very, very tough question. I mean, we're so early into the season. We're seeing a lot of guys like Stankoven, Hudson, all the guys we talked about today have great seasons so far, but can they keep it up? I think if I had to right now say this is going to be the winner of the Calder Trophy, I do think Celebrini is going to have a comeback. Not enough to get to that winning the Calder Trophy status, but I do think he'll be in the top 5 by the end of this season. Right now, if I was a betting man and I was saying, hey, this is who's going to win the Calder Trophy, I gotta put it on Matvei Michkov. I think Matvei Michkov right now has the best situation out of all the players we talked about today to thrive, because the Philadelphia Flyers aren't a team that is suspected to win. They are fully in rebuild, so they have nothing to lose. They're building around this young star. They do have a lot of guys there like Konechny and these guys who are going to have great seasons. So if you start playing Michkov higher up in this lineup, in the second line, maybe even top line for a little bit, he is going to flourish. He's going to make a name for himself here in the NHL, and I think Matvei Michkov is going to be the winner of the Calder Trophy this season. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. I know you guys are saying, oh my god, a Habs fan is taking Michkov over Lane Hutson, but I think he is going to do it. I mean, it hurts me to say I want Lane to win it. My heart says Lane, but my mind says Matvei Michkov's going to win. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Who do you think is going to win this Calder Trophy this year? Love to hear from you. While you're down there, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content we're posting. Like the videos, it helps push these videos out to all the NHL fans on YouTube. Also comment, like I said, who you think's going to win. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.